All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the NCAC Executive Board meeting for October 19th. It's 3:31 p.m. and we're calling the meeting to order. Um, we will start right off the bat with the conflict of interest question. Um, I'm Alex Clark. I'm the vice chair and acting as the chair, and I have no conflicts.
Michael Beachley, I have no conflicts.
Randall Cook, no conflicts.
Chris Sokowski, treasurer, no conflicts.
Susan Schomburg, no conflicts.
Nancy Vandell, bylaws subcommittee chairperson and minutes taker if you want. No conflicts.
Great. Excellent. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen just so we can peek at the agenda as well as the minutes. And sorry, this is taking a bit. Okay. Share screen. Okay. So can people see that?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So this is our agenda. We do have two items to add, which we can put towards the end. I'll mention briefly. One is we need to come up with an agenda and discuss the general meeting for December, which will probably, fall under the future meetings discussion, as well as got forwarded from Guy Sievert some information about the Coast Guard helicopter getting relocated, with a little discussion about how and if and how we as a group we want to write in and amplify some messages, mainly through the Fishermen's Wives Association. So that's a discussion item for towards the end. Okay. And then here we go. I'm gonna stop sharing and then I'm gonna share some of the minutes here. Okay, so this is are people able to see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. So these are the minutes from the October 22nd executive board meeting, which Nancy sent yesterday, and I know some people have had a chance to review. And if you haven't, they're in your email, but they're also right here.
I read them. They look
I did
fine,
as well.
and I
Great.
move that they be accepted.
We have a
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Any nays?
No, I endorsed the minutes.
Great. The minutes are hereby approved and endorsed. Excellent. All right. So, sorry, I'm doing this on the road. I find myself on the road these days, but set up my computer and the Wi-Fi works, so this is great. So I think next on the agenda is an update from Nancy. I think that's you with the with bylaws. And we just had a meeting that I was able to sit in part of earlier in the week.
Yes, thank you for joining us. So it's pretty simple report. We have been meeting one meeting this month, and we're going to do one meeting next month. And it looks like we're aiming for February to put in our updates of, it's a limited list of updates for the policies and procedures. And at this point, just one minor bylaws amendment, mainly that's for adding the possibility of having an officer or executive board member needing to take a leave of absence. So it's a pretty simple one. So we're making progress, and we hope to have everything pretty well finalized in our December meeting, bylaw subcommittee meeting, which is the day before our membership meeting. And then we'll do a couple of feedback sessions in January. We're not anticipating needing to do a lot with that. And then hopefully at the February membership meeting, then we can just get approval there. And unless it's determined through the feedback sessions that we need a special meeting, we don't think we have a lot this time to have to worry about. It's not like a whole new set of bylaws or a whole new set of policies and procedures that we have had in past years. So we're kind of having fun with it. and it's kind of nice to not have to be working nearly as hard as we were the past 2 years. And we were all able to get together for lunch in October when I was in town. So that was kind of fun. And with no business.
Wonderful.
We were able to actually socialize for a little bit. So that was fun. Yeah. So I don't know. Michael or Susan, do you have any other comments to add?
Pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah.
We get into these discussions, and we've said this before. I'll say it again. This is a really interesting group of people to work with. We enjoy each other. We get into philosophical discussions about the policies and the outcomes of those policies, the repercussions of those policies, and whether they make sense to people who've never seen them before, and all of that sort of thing. It's I'm looking forward to being done, and I know good and well I'm going to miss it when it's over.
Well, it's always next year too.
Yeah.
So Alex got to sit through some of the nitty gritty discussion stuff and stayed right there with us. So yeah, good.
Well,
good input.
it was a fun, cordial group. I think you can tell that it's more relaxed and you're having fun with it.
Maybe too much fun.
I know, right?
So that's it for us.
Okay. Well, great. Yeah, I do recall at some point in the discussion there was a question on whether we should all turn our refrigerators and microwaves off. So that's kind of the philosophical nature of what a non-essential electronic device in the background. So
right.
Yeah,
fun was had. I think
Yeah.
that was you, Susan.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And yeah, you're meeting less frequently, but with no diminishment in the vigor.
Yeah, just for the rest of the year, and then we'll resume our 2 meetings a month schedule in January, starting January 2nd, at least until February when we're done, hopefully. So
yes. All right, excellent. And I think we are on to you, Rand, with the community plan steering committee.
Yeah, I wish we were in that relaxed, enjoyable, calm,
You
throwing
will be.
ideas around haphazardly, and
I believe you're in the
Yeah.
thick of it.
we're in the thick of it. And so we've reorganized the plan. Guy admitted he led us down the wrong path with the prior organization of it that Sarah and Tom did this summer. And so the flipping of that is to say that at Lori's recommendation, we make this a document that is extremely readable and provides some grist for the community when they read it, that they get it quickly, that they embrace some of the ideas and they see some actions that are going to come out of this that they have spoken about in the public meetings. So the way it's being reorganized is the first thing are the vision. Well, there's a general introduction, but then the vision, the values, the policies, and somehow the recommendations also are pretty packed into the beginning of the document. And but it also has those policies in there because the county requires the policies to be connected to the vision and the values. So it's going to be a bit of a handful to make all those things read in a similar sequence through each of the values with all that
Mhm.
information stacked in there. And that is, luckily, we have Tom as an organizing person to make this make sense. And he's been having health issues lately, so we've been delayed, but luckily he's feeling better, as I understand it anyway, and he should be back on with the reins in his hands here within a few days and reorganizing under this methodology and with these challenges. It is now entering the holiday season, so it's kind of a tumultuous time to schedule things when we moved the December 1st meeting to the 8th and lost Lynn along the way to previous commitments. But so we'll meet again on the 8th and then again, I think January 5th.
Mhm.
Anyway, those are being posted. Candace is keeping up with our changes so far. And so we look forward to a vigorous discussion of once we see a proof of this reorganization. And because so many parts are moving into different accommodations here in the plan, we're going to have to see how all those pieces fit together and work with Tom and Sarah to make this organization function that the public can address quickly and easily and find the results of their input along with policy and along with recommendations that we gleaned from the meetings so that they see ways that these ideas can take action and they can participate and engage more fully to realize some of those recommendations. So that's about where we are. And any questions with that amount of information?
Brian,
No,
I
go
may
ahead.
have missed it, but we're just curious what drove the changes, as they're sound like they're pretty significant, and any reason why we didn't get any intel or education earlier?
Well, I think that Guy was being driven by the idea that the number one priority in the state goals uh, is to make sure that public input is documented and put that up front. When Lori read that and when Guy actually read it in the form, he said, wow, you got to go 7 pages before there's anything that you really want to read besides, okay, I get it that we met numerous times and we had lots of information made available and all these things, but uh, many people might not make it to page 7 if they're just reading stuff that's official,
Mhm.
uh, why we have to do this.
Okay.
And so Lori suggested that we move the juicy stuff up front so that we engage the public immediately and that they not only see the vision and the values, but they can soon get to the things that they wanted to see happen.
Mhm.
And I think we all kind of went, that makes a lot of sense, Lori.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so we included the policies with the vision and values in boxes. So there's vision and values statements, and then in a box, here's the policy and what it's referencing in the comprehensive plan. That's in a box there, and then we're trying to see if the recommendations, what those look like, and only the editor can tell us how we could make a distinctive way to connect the actions to the vision, values, and policy. So it was kind of a revelation once we saw it in one form and could read through the whole thing, that it wasn't doing what really we needed to do to make sure the public not only grasps it, but embraces it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Mhm.
Sure.
So I get the impression it's
Yeah.
mainly a formatting change. It's not so much that the community's input has been lost or anything. It's more of a formatting. And so I think before Tom had to go back into the hospital, he did something. I was able to attend the meeting on Monday, and which went really well, I thought. And so he did the format that they had requested the previous month with the introduction and the vision, and then took one of the 5 values and did a template using it to see if they liked that format. And then they're going back and looking to see if they like that format. Well, when he's feeling better, will do the other 4 values similarly if they like it. So, and then bring it back for the December meeting. Is that right, Ran?
That's correct. And some of the language starting to stand out as maybe one of the values of putting all these things kind of grouped by value is that you see where maybe the titles or the language isn't really articulating what's in that section. So
Mhm.
we're going to be looking at the community character didn't seem to really capture the recommendations and actions, the participation part. So some of the words we're going to do some work on to make sure that when you read what the value is, it communicates more fully what you read after that, what the real words are that describe the community character. Uh, there'll be, now that the regrouping is taking place, it will influence the language as well, to make sure it's accurate and maybe enticing as well.
Would you say that this shift or the change is kind of a shift in the intended audience from sounds like it was written in a somewhat um very explicit but maybe Tolstoy-esque way for the county, and maybe shifting the focus to be accessible and digestible by the community first, and then making sure you tick
Yeah.
the boxes for the county.
Yeah, I think that because the direction that was described was given to Tom and Sarah as to how it should be prioritized or oriented, we did an about face on it. So um, it it just was clear when we read it that it was a little dry, and it wasn't getting. You'd have to go look for the recommendations. And we feel like people really want to connect to those things and see that they're not just ideas, what's going to happen, what are the actions that we could take? And part of this is a recognition that the county is only capable of doing so much, and our community is capable of doing more
Mhm.
than the county can provide for, so that we need to understand more and more what we can do through our own initiative, our own fundraising, our own partnerships to accomplish things that we as a community want. Um, and the county can help as they can, but we don't want to be limiting uh, the scope of our recommendations to only what the county can do for us, because
Yeah.
we see that we've accomplished many things that the county can't do
Mhm.
for us, that we have to do it collaboratively and with other partners to succeed,
Mhm.
which is a great thing for us, the community, to realize. And I think that more and more by the roads project and buying the golf course and a
The watershed.
variety of things we see through initiative and through fundraising, we can accomplish things kind of not without the government, but with our own governance and our own resources and collaborations.
Right. That's excellent.
Yeah,
That's
it's
work. I'm
promising.
sorry. I'm sorry to miss that meeting. I was
Well,
still
it almost
engaged.
wasn't a meeting. We didn't even start the recording till about 10 minutes after we were like going, well, oh, I guess Lori is here.
Yeah.
I guess we can have a meeting. We better start getting official here.
Yeah.
So uh, I'm glad we
Right.
had enough folks to do it and that it took the constructive actions that it did.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Um, well, thank you, Rand. I think
Sure.
next is Susan, the outreach task force. If there's any update there.
Yes, I'll be really brief. I hope you can hear me. I'm in a car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I need to renew efforts actually on this. The signs that are up are still up, so that's a positive thing. They're weathering well, even the one on Corvallis and Breakers, which is, has received, they're laminated, but that one I was a little worried about. They haven't been removed, and I wanted to ask permission of the board. I have an idea, actually two separate things I wanted to ask about. One was I would like, with permission, to put the one sheet on the Nesquin and Friends page to try to recruit people for the different neighborhoods that we still need people from and raise awareness, of exactly what we do with the NCAC is one thought. And then the other thing I know Ran knows, and Nancy, I think Michael too, a couple nights ago, there were all the fuel line punctures in the village where people stole gas out of people's cars. And the four incidents that were reported to the sheriff, I mean, we spread word of mouth as best we could, but I was thinking about it today and I thought, gosh, if there were some way I could create like a small little yellow sign that I could Velcro onto these already positioned NCAC signs. Just kind of like I don't know what I would call it, but a warning sign to, and I don't know if it's appropriate. Maybe this is more not my outreach, but the communications task force, just to kind of let people be aware. Because I know the NCAC was great and sent out, but they only have their email list. And sometimes there are people in the village full time and, other neighborhoods too that they might target. Pardon my voice. I know they hit Cloverdale last night and were siphoning fuel last night. So they haven't moved far away. And so I just wanted to raise that. Those were basically, the two things.
Okay.
So one of the other things, having my foot in the other, the other community organization, the NCA, is
Yeah.
looking at doing a beach buzz kind of a bulletin rather than we have a published newsletter, but they also would like to put things out kind of when they seem pertinent.
Mm-hmm.
And they would like to grow that list. They've got the golf course in their own list, and they're
Mm-hmm.
doing more outreach also to reach more people. But they are thinking of something that is more immediate, that would,
Mm-hmm.
if things come up, they accumulate to a certain degree, and if there's something that's, now there's 3 sea lions and a whale on the beach, so
Right.
these are the locations, and be
Mm-hmm.
aware of that if you go to the beach, and stay away because apparently it's a contagious disease
Mm-hmm.
that humans can actually catch.
Hmm.
And so that kind of a thing, I don't know if I'm going to be the publisher or not, but I hope it's not too often that they hope to put it out. But
Yeah.
anyway, it has a lot of potential for meeting the need that you're speaking to. And if that develops into something that the information is purely community based and doesn't and meets the criteria of the NCAC, that might reach a bigger audience if there was a giant email list that it went to and reached more people. They're doing a lot of outreach too. They have a dynamite new committee that is working on trying to get more people involved in the NCA, just as you're trying to get more people involved in the NCAC.
And keep
So-
people safe. I'm like, gosh, what if somebody isn't on Nesquin and Friends and isn't on an NCA list? I'm like, visually, what can we do? Like a yellow laminated something that they're aware. It was so unbelievable. The 4 things that happened in the village a few nights back. It's so rare. We don't
Yeah.
we don't want it to ratchet up, and we don't want it to happen again. I know Biff Schlichting I spoke with, and he was going to pull a video feed from his cameras to see if, he saw anything. And people have like reconnected their cameras in the last 48 hours. And some people have made it, they don't want to see the raccoons. And so they've dialed it back in the village as to get the alerts for moving branches, and now they're ratcheted back up.
So Susan, for the first part of it, of wondering whether you could post on, assume you mean the Facebook page, the Nesquin and Friends Facebook page, about looking for people to become involved with your outreach task force, and maybe also, we need officers, but
yes, we do.
But that's something we haven't really talked about. I'm trying to think if there's something in the policies and procedures about reaching. I know we have a bunch of stuff about reaching outside the organization.
And I thought I should ask permission because, I don't want to just do this on my own, without running it by the executive board if it's appropriate. So that's why I thought I'd just bring it up.
And it does seem that the outreach task force is tasked with outreaching to the community.
Yeah.
And I don't recall any discussion of limiting that to just in person, or we put up flyers, talk to people. It seems like posting on the community Facebook would fall under the purview of that.
I don't know if they'll allow me to. That's the one thing. But I first wanted to, ask permission before I even did something beyond this,
So
I think.
go ahead, Michael.
You're raising an issue, and I appreciate that. But I also think that your ideas are on the mark, and if you want to post something in the Facebook page, I've read those membership rules. They seem what you have is perfectly reasonable. I don't see any issue about that. Go for it.
I do think, though, that Alex at least and needs to be able to approve what you write. I mean, we've had issues with things being, we've been pretty strict with things going out without even membership approval if they're going out to outside organizations. I ran. So I think we have to be a little careful here.
Right.
I mean, what you're talking about sounds reasonable, but it's also precedent setting. So that's where I'm hesitating a little bit. I think
you're right. I
mean, we certainly need people, as much exposure as we can to people joining various positions like your outreach task force and stuff like that. I think that would be great. But
I mean, what I could do, I'm just thinking off the cuff here, is we have what has been posted in the neighborhood so far. That is what I would like to post, that was approved by Mark previously.
Oh, okay.
But as far as, I'm completely willing to run by any, text that I would attach to it to get approval before I actually did, what I'm saying? Whatever the process would be, I'm, absolutely willing to comply. So,
yeah, because the board approved the one sheet. So if you're talking about that same thing, I don't see a problem there. That's been approved.
But I'm, like how I present it on, Nesquin or Friends, I'm perfectly willing to have people weigh in and edit, etc.
So the other thing
Yeah.
that we have as a rule, it's in the policies and procedures, believe, is that anything that goes outside of the organization needs to be sent by the chairperson.
Okay.
So that would be Alex,
Hmm.
would need to send it out. So you
Okay.
could work with Alex to
Yeah.
send it out.
Cool.
And that's just anything that goes out. But
Yeah.
in terms of the other part, which is really important, of getting out these news items like the siphoning and that kind of thing, you as an individual will be completely free to post
Okay.
on the Facebook page as an individual, right?
Okay. And I
and I
have
love
done a little, I've been more
yeah,
focused on the whale actually,
yeah,
because I
yeah.
was there when Carrie Newell was there educating people when it had just washed up.
And I love this idea of the NCA for the news buzz, whatever you called it.
Hmm.
I
The beach
captured
buzz.
it, Rand. The
Beach
beach buzz.
buzz.
That's
Yeah.
really, I
Yeah.
like the name.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I resent that remark. You know that my wife's name is Sandy?
Oh,
Sandy Beach. Yeah. And everybody says, life's a beach.
yeah.
There you go.
We're getting Michael going on a riff here. Yeah. So I don't know.
Well,
Those were just thoughts off the top of my head here,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
Well,
Susan, if you have something, I mean, just to check the box and make sure we do it
Yeah.
by the book. I'd be happy to look at it or post it and tag you in the
Awesome.
post because
Yeah.
one of the things about posting on Facebook is, maybe good to have further discussion about this as an organization, but there's a lot of replying to things, and that's,
True.
I think I feel comfortable with the original post coming from the board and
Hmm.
tagging you as the outreach task force person
Hmm.
in charge, and having you pretty much pick up all the discussion. I don't know, as a board, if we want to, it would be too cumbersome to get into approving every comment that
And we could,
answering every comment that someone might have a question to, but
yeah.
it
I think
feels
I think it's also worth running through Sarah because she's real concerned about all that too. So I
Mhm.
think it's a really good thought, Susan, but I think we should probably run it by her too.
well,
And
there's
I'm
a,
just thinking too, we could also try to limit discussion by saying this post is for information posting only.
yeah.
Try to keep it in the guardrails, so to
Yeah.
speak, so people don't go off down different rabbit holes.
And they have a something in there to contact you because that's on the one sheet, right?
Hmm.
I think,
We could add it.
I think it's appropriate to pass it by, just to
Mhm.
see if there's any red flags.
Hmm.
But after that, perhaps you can formulate a standard announcement kind of form that doesn't discourage but does not encourage discussion back and forth.
Right.
It's just like a general announcement.
Mhm.
And if you have any questions, please refer to maybe the web page or
Info at
sure, yeah,
nesquincac.org.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't
Which
want to
is
get
what I
into,
think it does, right?
yeah,
So
we don't want to get into any conversations on,
Yeah, because
So
I know
I'm-
that's what the one sheet is right now. It does refer it to the Nesquin CAC website
yeah,
or the
yeah, I
info
think
at.
that's fine. Yeah, that'll help you out.
which we need to start monitoring more. But excuse me, we need a secretary. But I think I'm going to put this down as an addition to our policies and procedures, Susan,
Sorry,
good
we've got
idea,
something
yeah.
more to do.
because we're talking social media suddenly,
Yeah.
and that's a new
Yes,
thing
yes.
we haven't really
Yeah.
talked about. So
Yeah.
that I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill, but I think it's
Mhm.
worth especially with what Alex was talking about.
But the whole thing about communication is a big deal for me.
Responses and how do we handle that stuff.
I think
Yeah.
I like the idea a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
I can send an email. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Rand.
it's another bridge to the NCA, which they were talking about having a Facebook page, and everyone just went, who's going to deal with this stuff?
Yeah.
So we backed
Yeah.
off on that, and our answer was a more frequent Beach Buzz kind of a newsletter that can encourage could not only say we're concerned about this specific issue, but then have other things on it that were positive about things that were coming up or
Mhm,
things that people could do this time of
mhm,
year, you know. So, I
mhm.
mean, I think one of the members put it through AI and they got 4 pages of the different things that you could do
Awesome.
because you had
Mhm.
a newsletter that was like a one pager on a regular basis. I went, okay, well, don't ask me to manage that. That's so it is good to have a management plan and
Mhm,
understand the scope of what you're looking for.
mhm,
I'll reach out to Sarah and just bring this up and
mhm,
see what she says about any potential red flags that
That
we're
sounds
not aware
great.
of.
And
mhm.
then we'll just do this off the cuff. Susan and Michael, do you want to take this on to report back to our December meeting with a recommendation?
Sure.
And we'll get any input through you, Alex, on
Hmm.
anything you hear through Sarah. That would be really
Yeah,
helpful. It's
great.
a first though, and I agree. I think having more rather than less communication is good, but it also needs to, since we are an arm of the county, we have to be really careful
Mhm,
too.
Hmm.
mhm.
But the NCA having
Yeah.
beach buzz, that's great
Mhm.
for such things. Because you don't have enough to do you, Ren?
Yeah.
Right,
So
excellent.
that's all I've got. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Thank you,
Well, thank
Susan.
you, Susan.
Mhm. Yeah.
We do have secretary discussion on the agenda. I don't have any news on any interested parties. Um,
Yeah,
if any,
I had found someone who was tentatively willing to do some of the tasks related to secretary, like minutes, but as it turned out, that person had some family issues come up and had to back out.
Mhm.
So unfortunately, nothing yet. But
Mhm.
I still on my plate have I am going to learn. I'm going to learn how to get these videos and
Mhm.
minutes and that kind of thing up on YouTube and on our website. So I do apologize that that hasn't happened yet. So I am I'm going to focus. I think I'm just going to grab Gary and say,
mm,
walk me through it. We have a training
Yeah.
video, but just walk
mhm.
me through it. And after doing it about 10 times, we've got at least that many sets of videos that I've downloaded. I just haven't done anything with them. Um, Hopefully I will learn how to do it quickly until we can find someone.
Mhm.
And now that you're all set up on the password and everything, Alex, I don't know that anyone's monitoring the info at email or the admin at email. Um,
So I'm
so
logged into the admin email, and not the info at, but I can also add that to my mail queue or my mail
okay.
lineup. And
And I go in very occasionally, but not very
okay,
often lately. So
great.
and then there is a training video that Gary took Mark and Ran and me through, and I have that I can send you uh, a link to, and that teaches us how to do all these things, but it's
Great.
still.
Mhm.
And then I think Mark probably forwarded you the email with all the passwords, right? And if not, I'll forward it to you.
I believe I have that. Yep. But
Okay.
I'll go check and make sure I have. I think the last remaining one is, well, maybe not the last one, but I think I need the info at uh NCAC
Okay.
password, but
Uh,
I'll check my notes before.
okay. It may be the same password. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Right.
I'll forward you the note with all that.
Excellent. Right, thank you. So future meeting discussion, mainly talking about the December general meeting. We do need to walk through the agenda, which I know we're coming up on 2 weeks, so I'm going to send an agenda to Candace to publish uh, probably tomorrow. Um, and the agenda will include updates from all the subcommittees, as well as we did talk about a presentation from the county winter preparedness meeting that uh who attended that? Was that Tom or was that you, Michael?
It was Tom and oh gosh,
Barbara?
Barbara. Thank you.
Okay.
Barbara Triplett, yeah.
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 Mhm.
Okay, great. I did talk to Barbara about her jumping on and giving a similar presentation or a kind of tangential presentation to that on her 2 weeks ready uh, program. So she's already on board to give a short rundown about the 2 weeks ready and kind of give people a heads up that starting in January, they're going to be making a push to do some neighborhood centric in-person kind of small group meetings. She's excited about this program, and I think the December meeting's a perfect time to
Mm.
talk about that, as well as if Tom is able to go over the kind of review the winter preparedness um, slideshow
Checklist.
and checklist that the county did I believe it was a month ago. And I believe he said he was game to run us through the slideshow.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
And if not, I think Barbara also attended, so she could also run through that as well as her other one. So
Okay,
either
great.
way, hopefully Tom will be in great shape by then.
Mhm.
It's
Yes.
actually 3 weeks away, so you've got a little more time.
Oh, it's 3 weeks away. All right. Well, I plan on having fun in the next 3 weeks, so time will fly. So I'll try to get
Yes, maybe this would
done.
be a good time to send it to Candace. We could all, you can
Yeah,
enjoy your vacation or
pre
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
before all your
Um,
people come through.
Is our meeting December 6th? Remind me, is it for the general meeting? Is it this?
It's the 13th.
Oh, sorry.
It's always the second Saturday.
So, gotcha. So 3 weeks from now. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it. Looking at my calendar on my phone at the same time.
yes, December. Perfect. Oh, December 13th. For some reason I had a 4 p.m. meeting time. Are we
Should be
moving
10
that?
a.m.
Okay. What time zone I was in then, but
Yeah. And
That
I'm
would
gonna
be tricky.
figure where
yeah,
I'll be. I know I'm going to be somewhere.
great. You'll be
Yeah.
somewhere.
Malaysia's a
We
different
all will be
time.
somewhere.
Yeah,
That's what I know.
it's 10 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah, so anytime when it's farmers market time, we do them at I think 1:30 or 1 or
Mhm.
1:30, and then when it's not farmers market time, we do them at 10 a.m.
Great. Okay. I'm not sure how that got
Okay.
on to be a 4 p.m. on my calendar. Okay. Are there any additions to the agenda, the normal agenda that we'd have for a general meeting?
Just in case, you might want to just stick elections on there as a placeholder, but I doubt
Elections.
we'll
Okay.
need it. But
Mhm. In case someone gets inspired on Thanksgiving and says, you know what?
One can hope.
Yeah. So there's one more item that I alluded to earlier. This is uh weighing up whether we would like to write a letter of support with the Fishermen's Wives Association out of Newport to try to get someone. Probably it's going to be at the governor's or the state senate or the senator's level, because it is it is the Coast Guard, to try to get them to not move the Coast Guard helicopter to North
Mhm.
Bend, which is another 45-minute flight. So I emailed the Fishermen's Wives and just asked for some general information on
Mhm.
what their approach has been and if there are organizations that would like to support them, how best to do that, how to direct, the strongly worded piece of mail that we're potentially might write. Haven't
Mhm.
heard back from them, but you know, um, this is something that we would probably need to have people weigh in on. I imagine, before we send some communication out.
Mhm.
Dave Gomberg is their representative in the Oregon legislature. I know Dave. Are you ready for this? Dave was one of my first students at Oregon State in 1976.
Oh, really?
My goodness.
Awesome.
And he was the associated student president then at Oregon State. I
Wow.
saw him on TV the other day. He's got white hair. You know how that makes me feel? I mean,
Successful.
I remember
Yeah.
him with beautiful black hair, but but Dave is on top of this.
Mhm.
And he's very concerned about it.
Yeah.
Not simply because of the helicopter, which is a big deal for the people of Newport, because it's not that lives are in danger; it's that lives will be lost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
The
And of
other
course,
thought, oh yeah, sorry, I apologize.
and of course, it's all tied into this, immigration detention center thing at the
Mhm.
airport, and so we have to tread that one carefully.
So I did put a link to the article in the, I
Saw
guess it's
that.
Newport Yonder, the Daily Yonder, about this situation. And the focus on that is that it's particularly needed during crabbing season because there can be just devastating accidents on crab boats, and
Yeah.
and that helicopter being closer makes a big difference.
Mhm.
Apparently, they've already moved the helicopter without telling anybody,
Yeah.
and there's a 30-day notice requirement that they're supposed to give before they do anything like that. And apparently, the Fishermen's Wives organization successfully sued and appealed that when they tried it several years ago and won. They got them to hold off on moving it, but the Trump administration Homeland Security Department, I guess, just moved it without consulting anybody and no notice. So they're protesting, and it sounds like your guy Michael is in the middle of it, which is great. But I guess
Mhm.
our question is, can we do anything
Yeah.
as a board? It kind of falls into health and safety parts of the community plan. So we certainly have something that would, it seems like the existing community plan talks about safety kinds of things. So,
Well,
I-
Dave is a capable person, and Alex, you mentioned we may, they may need to have some state folks involved.
Mhm.
And Dave is the Speaker of the House pro tem currently, so he's the right person in the right
Yeah.
spot at the right time, and so whatever is created should very well go to his desk as well.
Mhm.
I also think Nesquin is very, how do I say, we're one of only two cities that has the flyover on the 4th of July, and it's because of someone in our community that is authorized. He has to have been highly placed in the military. I don't know who it is, but if somehow we could get him involved and also writing a separate letter, could be beneficial. His name obviously carries weight for us to have a flyover.
You mean of that helicopter or?
No, at the
No,
4th
no.
of July, the I don't even know what they are anymore.
Okay, military, a
F-18s.
whole
Yeah.
military flyover. Cool.
Yeah. I don't know who it is personally. I don't know, Rand, Chris, or do you know who that person is that we've always had that?
Yeah. I think he's in the I don't know what you call the Air Corps Reserve or something, who fly the planes out of like Portland Airport.
Yeah.
There's a military, installation there at the airport, and it may be that they've just had a long time connection, like their parent lived here or something. I think it's a familial connection, but that's about as far as my knowledge goes. I would suspect Alex Sifford is aware of who it is, since he seems to know all of those kinds of old connections and reasons for things happening, which we could ask him about. I also think that it's pretty critical, and I think it's probably, we can count on our senators and our Congress people to to weigh in on this pretty clearly. I think
Mhm.
there's a unanimity amongst representatives all the
Mhm.
way to the senators that this is a bogus move
Yeah.
and lives are going to be lost as David Gomberg has stated, and there's no really good reason for it.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
another rogue move to make something else possible that I hope doesn't happen either.
Yeah.
So,
So I guess I have a suggestion.
Mhm.
If you think it could wait the 3 weeks, I mean, I don't think we necessarily need an urgent set of meetings, but if we could designate a couple people maybe to draft a letter and figure out who it should go to, multiple groups, like, and also that could be on your list to talk with Sarah about, Alex, and just see if she has any objections, but I don't think she would. And maybe we could get together for a quickie board meeting right immediately before the membership meeting. And we can send out the letter for draft and get comments individually, but
Mhm.
and then present the letter for membership approval at our December meeting. I don't
Mhm.
know. I think it's important for us as a community to speak up and on things like this
Mhm.
that are critical and meet the community plan.
mhm.
I think we should
But
send it to Washington, D.C. also.
I do, and I think, like you mentioned, our U.S. senators,
Mhm.
and to Dave,
Well,
Michael, and to the, it could be also be written to give the Fishermen's Wives group some support, so we
Mhm.
could figure out who all to send it to. I think it could be addressed
Mhm.
to multiple people, but
Mhm.
what do you think?
I think that's a great plan. I think we'll have to get a couple people to write that letter.
Mhm.
Um,
You're looking thoughtful, Chris.
Oh, you're
You're
muted.
muted.
I was reaching out to a couple folks to try and get the name of the person who has the relationship with the Air National Guard.
Oh,
uh,
awesome.
Right.
So still waiting, but
And
as soon as
apparently,
I,
this is the Coast Guard affected, but I don't think the impression I had from the articles, they didn't have any decision making on it. It just suddenly got moved on them.
Hmm, okay,
yeah, I think it's not coming from, the the
I think it's
local
coming from
Coast Guard.
Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm,
Yeah. And the ICE facility is another story that might be a
Mhm.
little harder for us to
Yeah.
comment on, but definitely the helicopter falls.
Mhm. I think that
Mhm.
affects our health and safety. And it's,
Yeah.
certainly during the winter, but in the summer, we get calls all the
Mhm.
time for swimmers and surfers and paddleboarders that have been sucked out past Cape Kiwanda.
Mm.
And there's been a couple issues at Nesquin Beach as well. So,
yeah,
So I'm
it's a
wondering if we have any data that we could get on that,
Ooh.
that would be really helpful to have in the letter that would show how many times this helicopter was used to save lives. And,
mm,
that could be helpful. Maybe the Fisherman's Wives has some of that.
Mhm.
I don't know who to talk to.
right. Well, I'll hopefully hear back from them in the next couple days, and certainly ask if they have any numbers for that.
Mhm.
Alex, you may ask them how many times or with whom they've had contact with the Coast Guard.
Hmm.
Mhm. There was
And
that
what,
whole rescue of the RV park, that was front page New York Times.
Hmm.
so
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, and maybe the Fisherman's Wives even has a sample letter to use.
Mhm.
So if you're talking with
Yeah,
them,
I'm sure. It sounds like they're a number of weeks ahead of us in because they've really been banging that drum. So I'm sure they have some good
Mhm.
copy on that.
Mhm.
So I'll add that to the agenda for the December 13th meeting, and we can meet as a board. Do we need to schedule that meeting
Yeah,
with Candace and have just a quick agenda with that?
yeah. I think we
Okay,
could just do it like at 9:30 if that would work for people. And
great.
whoever drafts the letter could send it out, to the
Mhm.
board and ask for individual comments back, and we wouldn't be violating
Mhm.
OPML.
Great.
So- and so then we could take a vote to give it to the membership for approval.
Mhm.
I know
And
this was Guy who originally sent this
Mhm.
to myself and Nancy.
Mhm.
I'll bug him to see if he has any desire to write some of this letter as well.
Yeah, so maybe if you'd like, Guy and I could do it
Mm.
together. We
Okay,
and Tom did the last letter with,
Mhm.
I don't
great.
even remember the FEMA letter.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
right.
So
Is that something that you can talk to Guy about, or do you want me to
yeah, I can do
um
it if you'd like. So,
that
or
would be
either
wonderful.
way. But I think I should be appointed. We should be appointed today by the group
Yeah.
to do it.
Okay.
Unless anyone else wants to, I'd be happy
No,
to step back.
I move that Nancy and Guy write a draft letter regarding the what do we call it? The
The Coast Guard
relocation,
helicopter relocation.
the
Mhm.
Coast Guard helicopter relocation to be voted upon by the members.
Second.
Right. Any everyone agree? Any discussion?
Mm-mm.
Any
Support.
nays?
So I guess my only discussion would be we might, depending on Tom, but might bring him in and we have to get Guy's approval, but I think I would be happy. He brought it up yesterday, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd heard Monday. So
He did this to himself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it is approved. So Nancy and Guy, with his permission,
Mhm.
will draft a letter regarding the Coast Guard helicopter movement.
Awesome.
great.
Okay.
I have a
Um,
public comment whenever it's appropriate at the very end.
We
Totally.
are I believe we've moved from future meetings discussion, unless there's anything else for future meetings. We are to public comment.
Okay, I'm taking off I'm now as a public comment. I noticed that the Yachats, as far as what they did with the whale, they had the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz come in and they had a whole process and they've removed the whale through some ceremonial process I just read online today. And I didn't know if it's something, if it becomes more and more of a problem, the whale that is beached just south of Neskowin North, that we might consider also reaching out to the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz. We've never done this as a community, but we've never had a beached whale. And I thought it was a very creative solution. I didn't even know this was an option. I don't know which, I'm assuming it's the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz that would be tied with Neskowin, but I'm not knowledgeable about this. I just wanted to flag that.
Yeah, interesting. I
Um,
can't.
What about talking to Candace about that and her work with the Marine Science Center? Do you think she'd be a good person to suggest that to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it's a great
that is a
idea.
neat idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Because
And I
it's something
remember-
very cultural and something very sacred.
Well, it makes a whole lot more sense than 50 pounds of dynamite.
Mhm.
And I remember that, by the way.
yeah,
Mhm.
so do I.
It
Mhm.
was
Yeah, me too.
Crazy.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Susan.
Is it still working its way north, or is it?
What's happening is the sand is blowing from the south and it's being enshrined and
Oh,
not
it's
going anywhere
getting
and
buried?
Entombed.
buried, entombed, yes.
Oh, gee.
And I think that as more people come down next week for Thanksgiving, as the smell and the decaying increases, this will become more of a health issue for us as Neskowin. And if there were some way, I had no idea about, I thought, gosh, this is so creative what they're doing. And boom, the whale is gone. And ours is becoming, entombed, so to speak.
Huh.
No, it sounds great. I bet Candace would at least know where to go with it.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
And it could be a good
Connection.
And it could be
Mhm.
present Nesquin in a favorable light. I mean, as far as how we handle it,
Mhm.
it would be an opportunity for an article. Not that we want to draw more people to Nesquin, mind you, but we don't want negative publicity about this decaying smell. We already, etc. Anyway, I just wanted to flag it as public comment.
Cool.
No, I
Great.
think it's good thing to engage them if they're willing to do that, and maybe they only want to do it in the beginning stages rather than the later stages,
Mm.
but I would understand that, but
Yeah, before
we would
hazmat suits are required.
but we would know better what to do next time because it
Yeah.
seems that there is a disease that's
Mhm.
affecting a number of
Mhm.
large sea mammals. And so yeah, Candace, maybe start with Candace.
Does that sound okay,
All
Susan?
right.
Yeah, I mean, who should do it?
You.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm just a
I know.
public member. No.
Unofficially.
Mhm.
Yeah, we don't have anything. Well, we have some official standing, certainly, but I mean, anyone who could make outreach to understand even, yeah, if Candace knows, the Marine Science Center should know about the relationship to the tribe and this as a potential
And is this
thing.
our correct tribe? I'm sorry, I'm just not knowledgeable in this area as far as
Well, the
which,
Grand Ron tribe does, they launch out of Nesquin and Pacific City
okay.
annually
Yeah,
to do,
that's the right group. It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a confederated group. There's about
yeah.
6 or 7 different tribes.
So it's not the Siletz, it's the Grand Ron then? But
Well, if
or I
somebody
guess
did,
Candace might know.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you definitely want to get the right ones, or whoever did it in Yachats, I think would, if they have the experience. I don't know if Grand Ron has the experience of dealing with a whale, but in the past they did, but I don't know
Mhm.
about, because
Yeah.
there are both Tillamook and there are Tillamook tribe members in both of those
Okay.
groups because it wasn't exactly highly organized back in the
Mhm.
day. So
Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
shoot her a
thank
text,
you.
I guess, just as a public member and, just a normal citizen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, I don't know what we would do officially, but yeah, or call her, have a
Yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a neat idea. The Yahats did.
yeah.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh, and do we have a treasurer's
Well,
report on the agenda for next month for
thank
the
you,
membership
everybody.
meeting? Alex, do we have a treasurer's report on the agenda
We
for
do have
December? Great,
it,
great.
it is on the agenda for the general meeting. Yep.
Okay, great. And I'll have the minutes out from the October general meeting here within the
Mhm.
next week or so.
Great.
Thank you.
And our next meeting
Right.
is going to be next December. Where is it?
I have to put it on my calendar.
We decided on a week earlier, December 17th for our board meeting
For our board meeting. And I
at
think
3:30.
yeah.
What, 3:30?
Mm-hmm. Does that still work
And,
for people?
and I think that was when we were discussing it, I believe that was a if needed meeting. Do we still want to should we discuss that at our pre-general meeting board meeting?
Sure.
Because we are going to be meeting as an executive board at 9:30 on the 13th.
Yeah, maybe we don't need one on the 17th. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to have a placeholder, and then we could just decide on the 17th to cancel it if we want, or I mean on
Yeah.
the 13th to cancel it then
Great.
if we want to.
I'm looking at the time. Unfortunately, I mentioned to Nancy, I do have a appointment at 4:30, which I'm a little
Mhm.
behind on. So I can either we can adjourn the meeting, or if there's more comment, I will have to adjourn myself.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice job,
Alex.
Alex.
Oh, thank you. Always a pleasure.
You're getting good at it. All right, bye-bye.
Bye,
All
everyone.
right.
Meeting
Thank you,
adjourned at
everyone.
4:36.
Awesome.
End recording.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Ran.